and the environmental organisation Groundwork and the group Friends of the Earth South Africa launching a new report around our changing climate and the energy transition. It comes as much of Gauteng is sweltering under a heatwave and a water shortage, while there have been more warnings this week of intense rain in KwaZulu-Natal. Dr. Victor Munnik is from Groundwork, also an academic at Wits University. Dr. Munnik, good afternoon to you and thank you for your time. What have you found in this report? What findings have you made?
Good afternoon to you and to the viewers. Yes, we call it Into the Climate Fire, Harsh Realities and Fossil Fantasies in South Africa's Conflicted Transition. So the first thing that we record is that we now, as a planet, passed the heating point of 1.5 degrees Celsius. So we are literally in the danger zone, and this is why we have droughts, fires, and floods happening. But that's only the physical aspect. The report itself looks very much at the activities of the Presidential Climate Commission and the purposive transition. Purposive because it's a political process where various pressure groups and interested parties try to shape the agenda of the transition. But there is no doubt that the transition is a necessary thing. What we also found is that, in addition, it is quite challenging. If viewers remember the various visits to the Komati power station and the debates around its decommissioning and the local reception of that decommissioning.
Well, I mean, that decommissioning, still now we've had people in, I think one or two in government, saying it was a mistake to decommission it. Was it?
No, it's not a mistake to decommission. It's a very old plant that dates from 1961. And in fact, its decommissioning precedes the Climate Commission. So it actually has, and it has been decommissioned in parts over a couple of years, I think since 2012. But it is a very useful lesson. It's a very useful case study for us to learn lessons from. And the first one, which people quite correctly point out, is that it was decommissioned without having plans in place for the replacement of jobs, never mind training people for jobs. So one of the firm outcomes of studying Komati is that these plans must be made first before the power station is decommissioned. At the same time, it's not an argument for delaying the decommissioning. It's just an argument for doing the preparatory work more thoroughly and starting immediately with it.
One of the big issues around this is the future of coal. And let me just add some of the context as I see it, because we have a huge amount of coal resources in South Africa. That's one of the reasons we have so many coal-fired power stations. Kusile and Medupi are both brand new coal-fired power stations, both massive installations. We've been told by the Energy Minister, Victor Munnik, that the future of coal lies in what he calls clean coal. There's a big research project funded by the Energy Ministry, I think with money from, I think it's the World Bank, to look at that as well. Do you believe there is such a thing as clean coal?
No, I don't think there's such a thing, and it's actually not a matter of belief. It's a matter of looking at the figures. So clean coal is very energy intensive itself. It tries to capture carbon dioxide before it escapes. So it's actually not an economic proposition. As far as we can see, it's more of a mythical narrative that enables the coal industry to just carry on. It's similar to net zero, which is based on as yet uninvented technologies to draw carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Also something that we think will not happen beyond the relatively minor amounts that plants can absorb, but definitely not enough to offset industrial emissions of carbon dioxide.
I mean, this is important.
So it's a myth. It's one of the fantasies.
Okay, I'm sure Victor Munnik will have a very different view to you, Dr. Munnik. I mean, we're going to be running these plants, I think, for 50 years.
Not for 50 years. By 2050, we will not run any coal-fired power stations. This is a government undertaking that they've given in terms of global climate politics.
All right, Dr. Victor Munnik, thank you for the clarification. I appreciate the time from the organization Groundwork.